So I'm standing in the backyard with my dad and my best friend Reggie Mara, and we're looking down into this hole. It's about 12 by 14 by 6. We've been digging, Reggie and I have been digging this hole for my dad. It's building an addition onto our house. And there's this freaking big rock that's sitting down in the hole that's about 7 feet long, probably about 3 feet tall and 2 feet wide. And when we hit this rock, Reggie and I immediately went to my dad and said, we need a jackhammer. And he said, you're 13 years old, not going to give you a jackhammer. You have all these other tools, make use of them, go ahead. So we did. We did our best. We sledgehammer, smacking the rock, pick, smacking the rock, chisel and hammer. That made some progress. Sledge and the chisel worked really well, except neither Reggie, it was a two-man thing, and neither Reggie or I had really good aim. And so we had to kind of give up on that after a while. So running out of those conventional things, being 13 and 14, we immediately went to the next best thing, which was fireworks. Didn't do shit. Rock's still sitting there. Now, I'm dating myself a little bit with this, but there used to be this show, Mr. Wizard, that was like really good. Any Mr. Wizard fans out there? Now, I had to explain this to my dad, and he did not buy it after the fact, but Mr. Wizard was really big on the fact that, thermodynamics and heat, and if you heat something up and cool it down really quickly, it'll break. And so that's what Reggie and I tried to do. And we sort of worked our way up. Started with boiling water, didn't do anything. We built a fire around the rock, which didn't do anything. We found some charcoal lighter fluid, and we applied that to the rock, but we didn't use enough of it. Set it on fire, and that actually was promising, and that kind of led us to the next sort of liquid that you can apply to a rock and set on fire, which was gasoline. This is a true story. Please do not try this at home. This is extremely dangerous. We had learned from the lighter fluid that you don't want to be in the hole when you set it on fire. So we rigged up a piece of pipe and a funnel, and I really don't know how much gas we poured, but we had this big frickin' rock covered with gasoline, and we lit it on fire. Through the pipe, down, and there is this noise that happens with gasoline. Now, Mr. Wizard shows you how a rock breaks, lighting fires and whatnot, you learn from the movies. It was nothing like that. I mean, it was just like, and there's this big frickin' flame, and my brain is going, whoa, this is like really cool. Everything went into like slow motion. And then the whoa, really cool part went into the sort of the analytic side, which was like, well, the fire looks rather hot, and the little trench you made around the rock seems to be working, and maybe you used a little bit too much gas, but, and then it kind of flipped into the, I guess you would call it the panic Paul mode, where it was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to burn the whole frickin' house down. Unfortunately, that version of myself didn't talk to the version before, and I grabbed the garden hose and started spraying the rock with water. And if there's anybody out there that's ever applied water to a burning liquid, it doesn't put it out, it just moves it all around wherever it is you're spraying it. And so what used to be a very confined fire, which might have heated that rock up enough that it would have cracked, was now spread all over the inside of this hole. And I don't know why it went this way, but dirt doesn't burn, rocks don't burn, and thankfully the house didn't burn. But quite clearly, when we were done, this was not something you could hide because there was this like black smear on the house, and it smelled bad. And Mrs. Chufo, who was in the next yard, had heard the woof, and so we're standing there with my dad, and Reggie and I are there, and he's like, what the hell were you thinking? And I'm like, well, Mr. Wizard says that you can blah, 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 and, it'll work. And my dad is looking at me like, are you out of your frickin' mind? And Reggie, God bless him, came to my rescue and said, well, Mr. Tapikian, it seemed like a really good idea until we lit the match. My father at that point, I think, realized what he was up against and said, okay, forget Mr. Wizard. Let's go talk to Mr. Orsini. Maybe he can get us a jackhammer. And because this story has a happy ending, Mr. Orsini, well, it has a happy ending for everybody but The Rock. Mr. Orsini was able to come up with a jackhammer, and within a week, that rock was rubble. So thank you much.